Yo, 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 what it do, what it do? Hey, we know you should saw that fresh new intro. Wasn't that shit sick? Well, we couldn't agree more, guys.
Right, we just collaborated with our boy Omar at Sun City Vibes to help create an intro that would take our podcast to the next level. Do you need help with your video editing and content creation to help elevate your business to the next level? Well, Sun City Vibes has you covered without a doubt.
Yeah, that's right, guys. Whether it's a logo reveal, a music video, drone footage, or even t-shirt printing, guys, hit up Sun City Vibes for quality work and affordable price. Shit, Omar even made us a sick ass hat. Look at this.
It's a fresh ass hat.
Fresh.
Shit's fresh.
Fresh.
So yeah, guys, go help support those that support us and hit up our boy Omar and tell him Chris and Misa sent you from the podcast and help support a local El Paso business today. Let's go. Yeah. 3, 2, 1. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast. Today is Tuesday. Today's Wednesday. It is July 14th. It's approximately 7:11 in the afternoon here in a beautiful evening in El Paso, Texas, guys. As always, Mr. Misael's here with us. Say what's up to the podcast, Misa.
Yo, 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 what it do, what it do, what it do?
Also, guys, for this episode in the producer chair, Mr. Wes from Watch Out Loud is here. Wes, say what's up to the podcast, man.
What's going on, El Paso?
Hey, thank you for being here, Wes. Thank you. That was a beautiful introduction there, man. Very nicely done. Guys, for episode number 84, Conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast, we have a very, very special guest. We have Mrs. Lily Lopez here. She's worked for 104.3 and a former anchor, and I believe you did weather for KBIA, right? Oh, so wow. She's with us today. So say what's up to the podcast.
Hello.
Yes, welcome.
Give her a round of applause. There you go. Hell yeah. Thank you for being here, Miss Lily. We do appreciate it. We got you some wine, so we'll get into that. We had to uncork a bottle of wine right now.
Without a cork.
We went through a mission.
Right. It was a fucking mission, guys. We don't usually drink wine on the podcast, but if you're a wine company and you want to sponsor us, we'll start drinking wine. So anyways, guys.
Anything for our guests.
Right. Episode number 84, Conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast. Make sure you guys are following us on Facebook, liking us on Instagram, YouTube. Hit that subscribe button so you can see when we post each and every Sunday. So Miss Lily, so for the podcast audience who may not know who you are, can you kind of give us a brief introduction of who you are, please?
Okay, I'll try and make it quick. So yeah, Lily Lopez, that's my radio name that I had when I was at 104.3 Hit FM. But as I told you when I walked in, Iris is my real name. She makes the money and Lily spends the money. So that's why I was like, I'm going to have wine, so I'll be Lily today.
Right.
Lily's my alter ego. But yeah, I still have people that call me Lily Lopez from the radio station. After the radio station, I made the jump to TV News, where I was a weather anchor and a general assignment reporter for KVIA TV here in El Paso, Texas. Nice. I was there for 6 years. And then most recently, I left full-time because I wanted to focus on my son because I was working a lot, my nonprofit organization, and then just my mental health. Being a reporter, a journalist in general is tough. And I was just like, I'm going to save enough money to just take some time off.
Right.
So I'm doing that, but I still on occasion will fill in weather. And then I have my on-air franchise Sunday Fun Day Moments. Right. So I still do that.
Cool.
Jesus,
yeah. So you
got a very shit with my life. Now
so she has a nonprofit organization. What the hell are you doing? Okay,
yeah, but I do so much stuff, but I'm still broke all the time.
Right. Hey, that's my Lily.
Amen. Lily, damn it.
Right. We're gonna get into all this. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. First off, I just want to thank you for being here today. Thank you for coming all the way from the east side. You battled traffic to get over here. So thank you. Round of applause for her, Lisa, please. Too. And guys, we have a tradition on this podcast. It's not a podcast until we crack our celebratory beer. And this is a tradition that is unlike any other. And it sounds like this. All right, guys. Cheers to everyone. Cheers, Blue, guys. Wes, Misa, Miss Lily. Thank you all for being here today. And another great podcast. So I'm going to indulge, guys.
God, I'm telling you, bro. God, what does Blue do to this?
So Blue has this special ability of being able to find the coldest ice in El Paso, like the absolutely coldest ice, which in result produces really cold beer. So shout out to you, Blue.
Thanks, bro.
So we have a lot to talk about. Being a former weather forecaster, I kind of wanted to bring up this fucking crazy hurricane that we had. What was it on Sunday or Monday? I can't remember what day it was. But the shit was wild. especially here on the west side. We had hail. We had fucking trees falling on like Country Club Road, just like wreaking havoc.
I mean, this shit could have been like a tornado, right?
Dude, like I feel like it was like a mini like hurricane / tornado because
Was this the one that happened on this past Sunday or
this past Sunday?
Okay.
Like I remember, so I went to go pick up food. I hit up Taco Bell because I fucking love Taco Bell. And on the way back, it felt like my car was being shot at. And it was fucking the hail, dude. It was so fucking wild.
What side of town were you on?
I was right here, dude. I was like right here,
hail.
West Town Center. Dude, that shit was popping. And like, I don't know how crazy it was. I know Wes like saw the destruction because he lives off Country Club.
Oh yeah.
But the next fucking day, there was like trees uprooted. Like,
Dude,
it was fucking crazy.
During that whole time, I was like, I yelled to my wife and my kids, like, get down to the basement. And then like, my wife's like, we don't have one. And I was like, oh, fuck. So we just, luckily we survived.
But yeah, so how did you experience that weather?
We were actually at the Chihuahuas game.
Oh, yeah, they got postponed.
It was Mija's night at the Chihuahuas game. Okay. So they gave us free tickets and an area to go. But I warned the girls, I was like, okay, just going to warn you that there's a storm that's supposed to
rain in the forecast.
So I was like, so bring whatever you need or leave early. Right. And so they listened to me, but I didn't listen to my own advice. Because I was having fun. They were like, okay, we're going to leave now. It started getting like darker. Right. Winds started picking up and I would check on my phone, the Doppler radar. And I was like, no, we're fine. And then finally my sister was like, okay, let's head out. It's coming, but let's go to the gift shop first. We went to the gift shop and we walk out and we just see everyone under the in the concourse. Yes. Yeah. Because it was just crazy. But the worst part was, so I'm trying to like get my niece, my son, all of us out. And someone stops me. Hey, you're Iris Lopez, aren't you? You didn't predict this. So I stopped what I'm doing and I turned around and I was like, actually, yeah, I did. I have it on my phone. If you want me to go back and show you where I said it was going to happen after 5:00. And my sister was like, my sister was like, does that happen often? And I was like, yep. But the spicy Latina in me will always prove. If I'm wrong, I'll tell you I'm wrong.
You know what I would say? It would be like, it might rain, it might not. That's it.
Yeah, that's crazy that somebody actually called you out on this.
Oh, they always
like,
do.
hey.
But you just have to laugh.
So they honestly like they'll call you out on like your Twitter or like Instagram.
Oh,
like,
everywhere.
They'll be like, hey, good call with this rain. You missed it.
Exactly. Or when we say the one thing is when we're like, it's a 50% chance or 20% chance. And they're like, I didn't get any rain. Well, that's because 20% doesn't mean everyone is going to get, it's 20% of El Paso.
It could pass through like only the Northeast, or it could pass through like the Upper Valley. It doesn't mean that like it's a 20% chance of raining in your neighborhood.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I'm not forecasting just for your backyard.
She's like, I got a whole fucking like region.
If you want to pay me extra, I'll forecast for just your backyard.
Dude, that'd be cool. Like being that rich to like you have your own forecaster.
Imagine
just standing in the in the backyard.
Hire me.
She's like, I'll send the resume. Yeah, that's crazy. And I know like Misa works at the mall at Sunland Park Mall, and they got like destroyed.
Oh yes, you guys got damaged. Not this past one, but the one before. I was in Austin when it happened.
It was bad. And the thing is, I work maintenance there. So guess who has to fix all that shit?
Oh, wow.
Not me. I quit. No, it was bad. It was really bad. There was trees fell. There's, some of the roof came down. So it was bad.
Yeah, dude, it was crazy. I know people like for sure ended up with hail damage.
Oh, yeah.
Because there was a part where it was like hailing like pretty fucking consistently and pretty hard. It was pretty bad.
Did you get scared, Chris?
No, I didn't get scared. But what I was thinking, like, dude, why am I going to get scared of hail? Like,
you were saying that you thought you were getting shot at. I'm sure you're scared.
Well, yeah, but I knew I wasn't. But it sounded like it. Like I played enough Warzone to know what it sounds like when you're getting shot at. But anyways, what I was thinking was like, I know like we've had severe like rainstorms, thunderstorms in the past. Like I think it was 2006. We had that like severe flood that brought down a Blockbuster, and then the whole franchise of Blockbuster just
after 2006. I have a shirt that says I survived Storm 2006. And it's from our station. They had it in the back and I was like, I'll take it. Oh, nice. It's kind of funny.
So like what I'm wondering is like, do you think we're going to be set up to see some more like rain that's similar to like what happened back in 2006?
Well, that one was close. Not this past Sunday, but the one before. They were comparing it that it was very, very close to it. And I mean, we're in monsoon season, so and Mother Nature is just tough to like predict precisely. But like this next week, we still have rain chances. And the thing is, sometimes the storms it'll rain, and then sometimes they just get stronger than what we we don't know if they're going to get that crazy.
Yeah, you can't and obviously you don't want to over predict and scare the shit out of everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, you should, just so people could be ready.
Yeah, I know, but
then sometimes they're like, first alert, you're just lying, and then it happens, and I'm like,
yeah. You don't want to oversell the storm.
Yes.
But because then people will be like, well, I canceled all my fucking plans.
Oh, we've had that.
You know what I mean?
Too.
And it's like, dude, well, sorry, bro. Mother Nature let us off the hook this time. You know what I mean?
She was being nice because she knew you had plans.
Sorry, you're still alive.
But what I was wondering, and I don't know if you guys saw this, but there was somewhere in Texas, I don't think it was in El Paso. There was a kid that was at Top Golf. And
I saw it
during a pretty severe thunderstorm, and the kid tees off from Top Golf, and then the ball gets fucking struck by lightning midair right in front of him, dude.
He should have bought a lottery ticket after that,
dude.
I think he was too young.
I would have fucking just fucking ran inside, but dude, it was a severe fucking lightning strike, the fucking.
I wonder what they do. Would they just close the whole place down, or would they just no, whatever, guys? Keep going.
I would think they wouldn't allow you to still be shooting because obviously for the baseball games, even the soccer games, if it's thundering that hard and lightning that hard, they'll suspend it and bring everybody.
But I mean, they're
inside.
on the field. It's for a reason. I mean, they're on the field, but these people, they're not really.
Yeah, but you're holding metal clubs, bro.
Yeah, it can still strike.
You're holding a metal stick and swinging it up towards the sky. You're asking
challenge me, Zeus.
Whoever's in charge of the weather, you're tempting them. They're like, should I fuck this dude up?
Look, what I've been wondering, I've been looking on my phone with this whole weather and stuff, and then at 1 p.m. it's just it's going to be partly cloudy. And then at 2, it's going to be partly sunny. And I was like, what the fuck's the difference?
Well,
between what? Partly cloudy and partly sunny.
Yeah. I'm thinking wait, isn't that shit kind of the same?
I think partly cloudy, there's a little bit more clouds than the partly sunny. But we usually just
write that shit down, Wes, please. So we'll forget.
I was going to say, I don't think we've used both. We'll say partly sunny, I think.
Yeah. So I know you said it's monsoon season, right? So what exactly does that mean? Because I've heard monsoon season, and I have a general idea, but is that just a time of the year where this part of the country, specifically this desert, sees above average amount of rainfall, correct?
Yeah, or it's everywhere because it's technically hurricane season for the area.
So it's affecting the whole fucking world right now.
So everyone,
okay.
monsoon
so it was
season.
a fucking hurricane.
Well, I mean, it was an El Paso style hurricane.
It was an El Paso style hurricane.
You know what I mean? But there was no
But yeah, because if there's hurricanes in areas where there's an ocean, it can impact us sometimes.
Right.
Those storms can come our way, or sometimes.
And then we talked on the last episode with fucking my sister, we talked about those mudslides in Japan, which were caused by torrential downpour because of monsoon season over there, especially in that part of the world. They don't have hurricanes. They have monsoons and tsunamis,
tsunamis, those are scary.
Yeah, bro, tsunamis are wild, bro.
I've never been in one, but I see movies.
Dude, that shit looks so fucking devastating. So all right, enough of the weather talk. I just wanted to bring up the fact that we had some severe ass fucking rain again.
I don't know,
so get your sandbags for this week.
Okay. Oh, damn. She's predicted it like that.
I need to start
just
digging
in
in
case, because I don't want them to yell and I got flooded. You didn't tell us.
I think
I'm gonna get this recording and I'll be like, yeah, I did.
Yeah, be like, yo, on the podcast with these guys, go check it out.
I said it.
Episode 84. I predicted you needed fucking sandbags.
I need to start working on my basement.
Okay.
Shovel.
So you are born and raised here in El Paso, right?
Yes.
So you grew up on the east side, west side?
East side.
And you graduated from which high school?
Montwood High School.
Boom, another Montwood grad. Another Montwood grad.
Why? Who was the other Montwood grad?
So we had our comedian friend, Stephen Puga. He's from Montwood. And I don't know off the top who else, but we've had a few other people from the east side. What year did you graduate?
05.
05. So she graduated the same year as my older brother did. So that makes me and you 5 years apart in age, I believe. So I'm about to turn 30.
I mean, we graduated right? 4 years after her?
Wait,
I was 07.
No, I'm 33.
Okay. So yeah, so we're kind of about 4 years apart, probably the same apart from Wesley and this guy.
I'm 32.
You're 32 already? Damn, bud.
My birthday's after September.
Hey, look at you.
Wow.
I'm kind of scared about turning 30, honestly.
Dude, it fucking hurts, bro.
Yeah, what would you give me some advice turning 30, be prepared for this, you know what I mean?
She's like, get some more sandbags.
Get some more wine bottles.
Get a wine opener.
That's on me. That's on me.
Grown ass man and don't have a fucking
Yo, your
wine
boy don't
opener.
got a wine opener in the crib.
He doesn't have a hammer, dude.
I don't even have a hammer or a screwdriver.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm not a very handy guy. I'll just pay someone to do that or call a friend, call Misa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hey, maintenance guy.
But yeah, so one piece of advice you could give me, like for
Ooh.
turning 30.
One piece of advice. I don't know.
Don't do drugs.
Well, I mean, obviously.
She's like, stop the drug intake at 30, you'll be fine.
You'll be fine. I don't know. Even though you're 30, don't lose the kid in you.
Okay. No, that's good.
Dude,
Keep the
that's
youth
good.
alive.
Yeah.
That's
I
very
like that.
important.
It's
There
just
you go.
age. Age ain't
Age is
nothing but
just
a number.
guys. Remember that.
Yeah, but don't act like you're 5 either.
I know,
right?
but that too, yeah.
Shit.
Dubby's like super immature.
I know, don't be.
So
Yeah,
you
but-
graduated 05 from Monwood, right? And
Mhm.
then, so you were telling me that you went to UTEP.
Mhm.
What were you pursuing when you went to UTEP?
So I was going for journalism, multimedia journalism.
So you knew like right off the bat, like this is like what I want to get into.
Well, first I wanted to get into music because I like to sing and play piano.
Oh, nice.
No, I am not going to sing for you right
Okay.
now.
No, I was gonna ask. I was like, give me your best rendition of
You
like
can find
Adele.
you can find me on YouTube.
I mean, she's wearing a
Damn,
Lady
you're
Gaga
out.
shirt.
Wait, so you're on YouTube? Do you have like some like covers on there or what?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
nice.
really?
What's your favorite song to sing karaoke?
Oh, Valerie.
Valerie?
Oh,
What song is that? How does that go?
It's from Amy Winehouse.
Okay. Damn,
Well,
look,
sometimes
Wesley pulled you up
I
really
do
Look at
fast.
let's
She
see,
has a
go.
link tree. It's easy.
It's
Yeah, I thank you, and I did that on purpose because I was like,
got to make it convenient. Yeah, that's
but
what's up. So
yeah, you have
Valerie,
to probably like search for it.
Valerie by
By Amy Winehouse,
bro.
but she
Amy
didn't
Winehouse. That's
originally make it. She did a cover of it, but
Okay.
that's the one that I like.
That's the one you like. So like you've always had that interest in music since
Oh
you
yeah,
were
my
little?
dad sings, and then so I got the singing bug,
Oh,
and I wanted to do
nice.
music. But then it's like a long short story. I got sick. Believe it or not, people don't believe me, but if you Google it, it's there. I had iritis.
Iritis.
There was a
You're
a
writing too
virus. No, like it was a virus behind my eye. So I tell my parents, you jinxed me by naming me Iris because I got my own virus.
Oh.
That
was
was
like-
wild. Right there. I see what you did there. That was good.
Yeah.
Well set up. Good
So I
job.
got sick and I was in and out of the hospital for like about a year. And then I remember watching on TV Estela Casas and Gary Warner. And I was
Right.
like, I think I can do that. So it's like my life
Just
just turned
changed.
around. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go into broadcasting journalism. And
But like,
The rest
so
is
you
history.
never decided to like pursue like music at all?
I mean, I would do. I remember I made a demo. My parents, that's what I love my parents. I mean, to death. They, no matter what I want to do, they're just like, girl, do it.
Right.
You know, you need
That's
money.
good.
Okay. But we still
Wow.
butt heads every now and then. you know.
Right. Of course.
But so they paid for a demo. They just wanted to hear. I wrote my own song, so
Oh,
they
nice.
just wanted that, you know.
That's what's up.
And I would
And she
audition.
writes her own songs.
Well, dude, that's like the hardest part. I
Yeah,
would say.
that is
It
the
was. It's like a
part.
therapy, though. It's like a.
right.
You know,
a
and then
release.
when a boyfriend would break up with me, I'm like, I'm gonna write a song about you.
Taylor Swift style.
She turned into
I was Taylor Swift
mode.
before Taylor Swift
Yo,
came.
I love Taylor Swift.
No, yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Taylor Swift. I really do appreciate like her first two albums. Hard. I swear to God, bro. I have a country playlist I could pull up on my phone right now and show you the Taylor
No,
Swift.
no,
We
thanks,
believe
Chris.
you.
We believe you, Chris.
Because,
You've
yeah.
said it so many times.
Yeah,
bro.
dude, she goes hard.
It's like the 50th episode he's bringing up Taylor
Yeah.
I
Swift.
like how
Taylor,
badly they
he
didn't want to
wants
see
you
that
To call
playlist.
him.
yeah, I love how everybody was like, "Nah, dude, leave the playlist
believe you.
alone.
We
We
believe
got
you,
a
man.
fucking
We believe
loser." Like, get out of here.
Did you ever try rapping? Like being a rapper?
Like, what, like
Mm-mm.
like Nicki Minaj style?
I don't think I can.
No.
Uh-uh.
I think you can. I mean, if you could write, I'm sure you can.
Yeah, but
Chris tried and Chris couldn't do it.
yeah, I did some rapping like for a while. I did like probably like a year of making songs with my boy Sam. Shout out to Sam.
Shout out Sam.
Shout
But
out
yeah,
Sam.
like shout out Sam. Yes, thank you for that. But I really like music was one of the very first things that I liked. Like I remember like do you guys remember when the Titanic came out
Yeah.
and the fucking song by
My
Celine
Heart Will
Dion?
Go On.
Yeah. Yo.
Still a classic.
I had
Still a
that
classic.
shit. Like I made my grandma go to fucking like so wherever they sold music. I don't remember like all that music maybe back in the day.
FYE.
Yeah, the old
No, like the old music store. Like I was like 5 and I was like, buy the Celine Dion, My Heart Will Go On single tape. Bro, that shit I played like a million times.
Did you say tape?
It's,
Yeah, the
it's
tape
still a
player.
classic.
Because I'm worried about 30 and you're talking about cassette tapes.
Yeah, well, yeah. Now you see, I'm showing my age, but I'm just saying that song, like the best part of that movie, like by far.
I mean, yeah. Oh, and Leonardo DiCaprio too. Though.
Right. And I still think there was room on the fuck.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
There was.
That's the classic
That movie
debate, the
pisses me
Titanic
off.
debate. That's a solid movie, man.
It pisses me off, dude. Jack could have fit in that fucking.
That's what we're saying. dude.
Mythbusters proved it too.
Yeah,
They did it.
Did they really
Yeah,
do
yeah.
that?
And then Cameron got really pissed off and said, "Don't you do that again?"
To
Damn,
ruin my classic movie.
bro. And then you don't want that guy coming for you, bro. That guy's loaded.
He's
You don't
got
have-
avatars behind him, dude.
right. And not only that, the best lawyers money can buy. You know what I mean? You don't want to fuck with that guy. But yeah, that's crazy. So how did
went from like Celine Dion to,
Titanic,
like,
bro?
don't fuck
Celine Dion, that song was so fucking hard, bro. Like I heard that song, I was like, run it back.
You're probably gonna hear
Run it
after
back.
this.
Yeah, like when we go on break, I'm
gonna listen
blare
to it
that
on the
shit.
way home.
You see? There you go. Yeah, dude.
I haven't heard that song in a
I
minute.
fucking love that song. So shout out to Celine Dion. I know you're listening. I know you're out there listening to us. But so you make you decide laying in a
I
hospital
forgot what we were
bed.
talking about.
Right. Yeah, that's why I'm here. I bring us back.
Yes.
So you talk about being in a fucking hospital bed and you see Stella
yeah.
Casas, very well known, probably one of the most well known anchors that we've ever seen in the city. We had Chuck DeBroder on here too, so I mean he's another guy that held his own in the scene, and everybody knows him.
Shout out, Chuck.
So how do you make that decision? I know you said you're watching him and you're like, that's easy. Like I can do that. So like, what made you like think that way? Because to me, like a lot of people see like that position as being like an anchor is like intimidating. Like you're on camera, any little fucking wrong thing you do, like everybody's going to see it. Like what made you like think like, oh, I know I can fucking do this.
Well, you know what's funny? When I started in TV news, I realized that a lot of people also had a background in music. I mean, like Estella, she did the same thing too. She did music at the beginning. And I guess when we train to, sing, in a sense, acting and, entertaining people. And in a sense, as TV reporters, we're doing that too.
Right.
So I learned how to use my voice. I learned how to, use my facial expressions. And so it was kind of easy to make that. And I figured I'm not going to do music, but I still want to entertain in some way.
Right.
I like talking.
Right.
And so I, made the move, and I like writing music, but now I just write stories.
Yeah,
so it
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of goes hand in hand.
I mean, just look at Keenan Willard, bro. He's
oh yeah, he does music too.
yeah, he does
See?
music as
Yeah,
well.
we had Keenan
You'll
on
find
here.
you'll find that a lot of TV people do music.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. And we had Keenan on here. We talked about him getting into the music. We even played his music video, one of the songs he has on here. So it was really cool. And it's cool to see Keenan, like how he's progressed and moved on and gone back to North Carolina. I thought he did really well, like really well written stories. And he still does that today. But I had to give him props because he being so young and like, he seemed like he had already had so many like years of experience, like stepping into like the reporter's shoes and doing like his own stories.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, like he's fucking like, he's legit, dude. Like Keenan goes hard.
Shout out to Keenan. Man.
What was like one of the hardest things that you found out, like stepping into the industry that like you weren't expecting, like things that you didn't see, like obstacles like in your way that were going to be there, stepping into like a media environment?
The viewers.
The viewers?
I did not know how mean people could be.
Yo, people are assholes.
Y'all were mean.
Right. Especially on the internet, like.
Especially, I mean, it's tough. And I always say this, it's tough being in TV news, but try being a woman in TV news where I gain weight, I lose weight, I have a boyfriend, I all of a sudden don't have a boyfriend, and they just want to, I don't know how many times.
Jesus, man.
Are you married? Can I take you out on a date? No. I'm not gonna write back, and B,
That's
no.
so crazy.
Or they don't like your outfit or your hair or the way you say something. You can just never win, okay? And
So-
it's the worst when it's other females that are putting you down.
Yeah.
It's just-
And I'm sure there's a lot of them that do that.
Those bitches.
It's easy. It's easy for them to like take shots at somebody and like go.
But that's
attack
why when we
somebody.
get like compliments when I get compliments from other women, I love it. I'm
Yeah.
like, thank you. Women cheering women on. When I get compliments from men, I mean, it's like, thank you, but you compliment every picture I post. Can you please stop?
Like, this one's my favorite, and then she posted, no. This one's my favorite.
I'll apologize on behalf of all men out there. Like we're
Nah.
not all crazy like
I
that.
know they're not.
But some of us can be a
but
little
some-
bit too much.
Celine Dion over here.
Yes.
Do
Dude,
you know
I
how
was
many letters he wrote?
Bro,
to
you know how
Celine
many DMs I've sent to her?
Hey, I try and DM Post Malone all the time.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, one day Post. Shout out
That's
to Post.
cool. Dude, I love Post Malone.
One day.
She's like,
Right
one
back.
day we're gonna play some fucking beer pong together, man. Drink some Bud Light.
One day.
You know, if Post Malone was here right now, he'd be slamming these like
Oh,
a
heck
fucking
yeah.
animal.
He's made of Bud Light.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is. Yeah, he doesn't have
He's
blood. in
sponsored
his
by Bud
veins.
Light too, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Budweiser, Bud Light. Hey, guys, get with it.
So I know you said you worked at 104.3. What capacity like was your role there?
So I started first overnights from 6 p.m. to 11. I was
Right.
on air. And then from there I went to daytime where it was like 10 to 10, 4. I mean 2. I still have to use my fingers to count, ladies and gentlemen.
okay.
I'm a journalist, not a
Right.
mathematician.
I
Like 10 to 4.
just pretend math's not real, honestly. I'm like, fuck it. Whatever it adds up to, it adds
I
up
should
to.
say
Okay.
he's just a random number.
Yeah. So like how did you experience like being that overnight DJ? Was it tough? Like what was like the hardest part of doing
I
that?
mean, it was tough. I had a baby. My son was still a baby at
Oh.
that time, but I had my parents that were like,
Right.
that's fine. Like I said, no matter what I wanted to do, we'll take care of him. That's
Right.
fine.
We got your back.
They would leave the radio on while they were asleep. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I want to make sure that girl's on the radio.
She better not be telling us fibs over here, bro.
I'm
You better not be out with the friends at the bar. You better be working.
No, I like that shift because at the time, everyone was going out. So my friends knew I was working. And so they would call in and it was just fun because they're like, play me this song all drunk.
They would call in as
Yeah.
like
And I'm like,
Come
okay.
over.
we got caller number 5, Jennifer. Yes. And then they're
And
like,
then she'd be like, yeah, Lily, can you call in sick right now?
No, bye. Next caller.
she's like, we're at Cincy. We're like 6 shots deep. Get over
Come on
here.
over. That part was fun. The drum calls.
Yeah,
People
that's
were fun.
crazy.
I just wanted to hear a
Hey,
song.
Chris, have you ever called the radio?
I think I used to call like back in the day, like KLEQ or 104.3, where they have like ticket giveaways,
Yes.
like, oh, be caller number 17, like, and then you'd be like there trying to dial forever and ever. And then you'd be like, oh, you're caller 18, man.
I hated that part. I hated that
like,
part.
really? Out
Like
of
your
all callers.
your caller 16.
Right, like-
that would be
I
the
hated
worst.
it. No, caller 1. I hated that part. Hi, your caller number was our bye.
like, oh, God.
Or when you hear it, you would hear them again, and I'm like, sorry, you're calling number 16. Bye. It's like, I hated that part
Yeah,
telling
that's
him. I was
crazy.
like, I'm not lying. You're really this caller. I really will wait for 100 people to call and be
Right.
like, okay,
Yeah, dude, that's fucking wild.
You're waiting for your mom to call.
I know.
Like, Mom, you want these tickets or
Mom,
not?
hurry.
Mom, hurry, you're at 92. Like, you're getting it close. Like, yeah, that's crazy. Like, I feel like, is that even a thing? Like, I'm sure they still do that, right? Like, where they're like,
Yeah, I've heard Kelly Q do it.
They
a
still
couple
do
times,
that?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
I think I just haven't listened to radio in a while. And
I
I'm like,
haven't either. I'm always listening to
yeah, I'm always on like podcasts or like Apple Music, like
Spotify.
anything on demand.
Pandora.
Like, you know what I mean?
Pandora, but I don't pay for it, so I still have commercials.
Hey.
True.
Hey, me too. But some of these commercials, like in Pandora and in Spotify, they're starting to make these like commercials with like a runoff of a song. And so I think it's like
Yes,
a
I
song,
hate
and I'm
that.
like,
I'm like,
hey,
oh,
and then
and
like,
then
what
it's
the
a
fuck?
commercial.
The lyrics are like different.
But it works because I'm like,
I wipe my butt with this.
I'm gonna go buy that toilet paper now.
Yeah. It's like, oh shit. It's like, girl, get the kids in the car. We're gonna get.
That's crazy. So what would, and I know you brought this up already, like being a woman in the industry, like what are some of like the challenges that you have seen that like a guy would not be like presented with?
Being judged on your appearance. And the guys even have said it. They're like, man, you guys get it a lot more. They'll get messages sometimes, but the people that we get messages from are so persistent.
Right.
One time I didn't write back to someone at all. And he called me a conceited bitch.
God.
And I
Jesus
was
Christ.
like, I just don't want to talk to you. If you write, and then the thing is, if you write back, I will write back to be nice. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a great weekend.
Right.
Then they keep writing back. So it's
Oh,
like
yeah,
you
it's
open
like,
Pandora's
oh,
box.
that's the answer.
They're like, she responded.
Yes. And I'm just like, so that's why when new people come in and
Right.
I'm like, don't respond.
Okay.
You can, but just be prepared that they're gonna call you a whatever,
Whatever,
but
right.
you're just,
You
doing
gotta
your
be
job.
like you have to have like a fucking like some like
Thick skin.
things. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
exactly. That's
Oh, yeah.
exactly what I
Chris is going
like armor, body
I was about to say
armor.
armor?
Yeah,
Shoulder
like,
pads
like
on-
something like a protective layer on you. Like
You
I
need
don't
a
know.
verbal exoskeleton.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Thank you,
definitely
Wesley.
need
Thank
thick
you for
skin.
that. God,
Even though I
you
don't have the
saved me right
thickest
there.
skin still.
She's
I
like-
still get mad.
Right. She's
No,
like,
but at the
I'll
beginning,
fire off a-
they used to always make me cry, and then I went through like stages. First, they would make me cry and be like, "I'm ugly, I'm fat. They said so." And then next one would be anger,
right.
and I would write like angry emails back. And now it's just
It's like,
like,
look at you, motherfucker.
and now it's just like, I'll go to their page and I'll judge their life, and I'll be like,
this dude ain't shit.
bye.
Yeah.
So it's like stages.
So like it's kind of funny you mentioned that because like
She's gonna get to a point where she's gonna be like, yeah, I'm not into people. Sorry.
I don't like other human beings. But I was gonna say, like, I remember when I honestly don't even remember like how I came across your Instagram, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna send a message, and like I send messages to a lot of people.
Oh God, did she answer back?
Yeah,
Oh,
That's how
when
it
she
works.
was-
she's
when
here.
she's all like,
Did
oh,
she
thank you
answer
very-
back?
She's like, thank you very much. Have a good weekend.
No, but that's why, like, that.
She didn't even read it. She just saw this long ass text and she's like, thank you very much. Have a good weekend.
She's all, thank
And
you
he
for the
called me,
kind
he's like,
words.
bro, I think she's down for the weekend.
Yeah, so like I'm always curious because like like I shoot like shots at different types of people, all types of people. Sometimes I can't get like a fucking any sort of like read. Like I don't even
Bro,
know.
I've got an A, literally a nah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird. It just depends on like, and that's why I try to do like my approach in a very direct way. Like I'm just gonna be like super upfront with you. Like this is who I am.
I
this is what we
appreciate that
do.
more. When people are like, how's your day? How are you doing?
Right,
I'll just get
because,
to
like,
the point.
Right, because to me, I was thinking if I say, "Hey, how are you? My name's Chris." Like, just wait. She'd be like, "Okay, well, what the fuck do you want, Chris?"
Yeah, I wouldn't know. I'll
Right.
be honest.
So
I'd be
like when I do those shit, like when I shoot my shot in the DMs for the podcast, it's always
Did
like
he say shit?
Shoot, did I? No, I said shoot my
When I
shot.
shit in the DMs, guys. Drop my load.
Right. But no, when I do that, like I said, I try to be like strategic about it and make it like straightforward because a lot of people don't want to read a big ass message either. You know what I mean? It looks like it's like spam or whatever. So I just remember like I sent you the message. I just told you real fast. This is what we're about. This is who we talked to. And then like obviously I don't expect the fucking response like in seconds or minutes. So when you did respond, I was like, oh hell yeah. Cause right away you were like, yeah, let's fucking do it. Like you tell me when, I'll fucking be there, which is really cool because
Make
it
sure
doesn't
there's
always
wine there.
right.
Do you have a wine opener? I'm not gonna get over that.
Yeah. So yeah, backstory real fast because this was a good off-air story. So Lily pulls up. So we bring her into the crib. We introduce her to everyone. And normally the drink of choice is like, we got Bud Light, we got Budweiser, we got water. We have some shitty like vodka that you probably don't want to drink. Or Misa bought me a bottle of wine for my wedding that me and Lena were like, we're never going to fucking drink this.
Yeah.
Leave it in the back of the fridge.
And I only brought it because I knew they were gonna drink it, and eventually I thought I was gonna drink it. But then Lily came along and she's like, I drink wine.
Yeah, so the first thing she asked is like, yeah, like I'll take some wine if you guys aren't gonna fucking like drink it. And like, of course, no fucking wine opener. Like none. Not so like Wesley was like, get a drill, fucking drill the fucking cork, pull that bitch out. Like
I was like with a knife, like trying to figure it out.
It took us about a good 20 minutes.
Right, Blue was about to break the fucking like the neck of the bottle.
Yeah,
off.
Blue's like, it's just break the top off. Okay, cool.
The best part is we actually got a wine opener,
Right.
and you guys still couldn't open it.
It was a fancy one. I've never
Bro,
even
it's
used them.
a wine opener from like 2035, bro.
Right.
I figured it out.
Yeah.
I figured it out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
so
did.
you're the most technological advanced one here.
Thank you,
So
Wes.
shout out, give him a round of applause. For that.
I produced that bottle. Produced that wine.
And shout out to my neighbor for having a fucking wine opener and being
That's
cool
true.
enough to fucking let us use it and out of nowhere because it was super random. But
Now I know what I'm gonna get you for your birthday, bro.
right, so yeah, that happened like right here, right now when she got here. It was pretty funny, and I felt like a fucking loser for not having a
How long
fucking
did it take us?
wine
Like
opener.
15 minutes?
15 to
Yeah,
20
it took us a
minutes.
while.
It took us a while, man, but hey, we got it
I
open.
down like 12 beers.
There you go.
the whole time.
She asked for something else to drink like 3 times
I
while
was
we were
like,
trying
it's
to
all
open it.
right. Don't worry, we don't need it.
And we were
But
like,
they were
no,
determined. No, we're gonna open
You're
this.
a guest, and this is what we do.
Yeah, I mean, we got to treat you guys right. You know what I mean? So when you're thinking about like the industry of like media and then like especially like female roles in media, is there anyone that you look up to that you're like, okay, if she can do it, like I have a chance, or like I should have no excuse?
Well, I mean, locally, it was always, Estella.
yeah.
She was always, and her community service. And so I always saw that she would always give back to the community. And I liked that. And I took a little page out of that book and just how she was, real and just be yourself. So locally, yeah, I don't know who, like widely I don't know.
Do you have like anybody like nationally, like anybody that you look up to, like as a journalist or anything like that, that you're like, oh, I love their work. They do great work. I aspire to be something similar to that.
I mean, I don't know. Well, see, because for me, it's not really my what we call our beat, like what
Right.
you're good at reporting.
Right.
I like lifestyle, entertainment, news. So I like, all the people that, do, I would love to do like Hollywood style.
You
sort
like
of
like
news.
Entertainment
Yeah,
Tonight?
entertainment.
Okay.
Yeah, like that stuff.
Yeah, my
That'd be cool.
mom likes to watch that show, and
I
I
watch
used
it
to.
too.
So I always Google them, and I'm always
Right.
like, I always look at their like journey, on
Right.
Wikipedia, and I'm like, oh, okay, so they did start like in news, and then they went here. Some people you can't just jump up into it, but
Right. Yeah. Everybody, like when they get to that level, they have a story. Like
yeah,
they took a chance here. They started like in this small market, and then eventually
resume.
they pad their resume, and then they get to like this. They get the opportunity to step into like some bigger shoes.
yeah,
and
then they do it. Yeah.
and then that's how it goes. But yeah, that's cool. So I know you said right now you're not working fully for this station anymore. You said you kind of took some time off to focus on your son and yourself. So what's your son's name? How old is he?
His name is Jacob. He's 11 years old, 11 going on 32.
I know how that
He's
feels.
like a little adult.
What do you mean? Like
He acts like an adult.
Right.
Like sometimes, what was it? Oh, we went to go eat at a sushi place, and I've never had sake.
Right.
And so I wanted one. It was a pink bottle. And so I was there and I was like, that pink bottle up there, that sake, is it a sweet kind? And my son just looks at me and the guy's like, no, it's whatever. And then he left and my son's like, Mom, there's no such thing as a sweet sake. And I was like, really? He's all, it's like beer, Mom. Oh, you're so embarrassing. And I was like, and I felt embarrassed. I was like, oh, okay.
And then you started thinking like, wait, how do you know this?
I did. I think he went to a restaurant before.
Right.
I don't know. And I was just like, okay, I'm not going to ask questions, but
My
now I
daughter's
know.
11 as well. And the other day she came downstairs and she was like, hey, Dad, so can I borrow your keys? And I was like, what
For what?
the hell? Where are you going? She's like, I'm going to go apply for some colleges. And I was like, go apply at a job first. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's funny though. I've never heard anybody describe their kid in that way. Like, oh, he's 12, but he acts like he's
Oh, no.
45. Shit.
He was the first grandbaby. So he when he was, growing up, he was just around adults. So
Right. So he picked up
Yeah,
on
he
stuff
picked up
faster.
everything, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I have a nephew and he's like that age, like 12, 13. And it's funny because like you
Like,
say,
that kid's like a historian.
yeah, he's like a historian. Like straight up, you ask him about any event in
that's
history,
cool,
you bring
though.
up like any like significant figure, and he can like fucking like go off like, oh,
That's
did you know
cool,
this?
though.
Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, he's way smarter than I was at that age. I was like, can
smarter
we
than
play
you now.
Halo? Can we play fucking
don't wanna
Star
play
Fox or
games?
whatever?
And then
Yeah.
he's like, do you know who came up with Halo?
backstory.
Yeah, he breaks it down all crazy. So like, I know, like I said, you said you're gonna take some time off, support your son, focus on yourself. What made you like ultimately like make that decision? Because I know for some people, like walking away and not having that financial security is not the easiest thing to do.
Oh, yeah. And it's not easy,
Right.
but there's times where I like wake up in the middle of the night. Have you seen like those memes, whatever, where, like when you wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, where's my birth certificate? I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like, how am I going to make money? But I just have to tell myself, you're fine. You're fine.
Right.
Tell your
But
son to get a
was,
job.
I mean, no, he wants to. He wants to
Oh,
be
he
like
wants-
a YouTuber. And he's like, Mom, can we make like, how everyone has those Mexican candy little
yeah.
companies? He's like, can we do that? And I'm like, yeah, but it costs money to get all that stuff. I can't.
Right.
Sorry, but I can't give you money right now to start business.
Does he have a YouTube channel?
He does, but he doesn't really
Okay.
post. He's
Okay,
barely
cool.
starting to like post little TikToks and
Right,
the trends, but he forbids. He's like, Mom, don't watch me. Like when he's
When he's
I'll watch
recording
him. Yeah, and I
himself?
watch through the window.
Yeah,
Like you would ruin my recording sometimes when I would record me singing, and I'm like, so I'm gonna do it to you. How does it feel?
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, that's good. It's actually like it's super admirable that you would like be able to realize like, look, I can step away, I can take some time off, I can focus on things that are a little bit more important than a career,
Mhm.
and still like have the peace of mind to know like I'm gonna be okay. Like I'm not gonna fucking like be struggling, and I can still maintain like a
It's the
decent
love for your
right,
kids,
a
man.
decent
Yeah.
environment for
Yeah.
like
and
your-
after I
your
did
kid
it,
to
I
grow
got
up
a
and-
lot of positive feedback. It was crazy. I thought people were going to be, well, at first when I said I was going to do it, people were like, but you're not going to be on TV anymore. How is your nonprofit going to get
Right.
recognition? I was like, first of all, the first 4 months, no one knew it was my nonprofit organization,
Right.
and they still supported it. So, and I did that on purpose because I wanted people to support the cause, not the person who created it. So I was like, we're good. We'll be fine, and afterwards people were like, good for you. I remember people they would message me stories. I remember I worked my like 30 years and I miss my mom so much for my kids. You'll never regret it. And I'm
Right.
like, okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's a very good like explanation of like being able to justify why you would do that and saying like, yeah, like this career and stuff being on TV, it's cool, but
Yeah,
you know, there's
but-
ultimately like things that are that
Yeah,
are more
it's
important.
a sacrifice that you have to do when you have kids. You know, it's
Yeah.
whether do this and then miss times with them, you know, or let that go and then spend the time. And I think that's great. I would, I mean, if I could, I would do the same thing.
Right. I mean,
yeah, and that's why I was like, I have a chance to do it because not many people, you know,
Right,
there's
right.
people that want to do it. And I was like, I have a chance to do it now
Yeah.
because, you know,
But what I would do is I would quit my job and then have my kids work.
should have done it when he was old enough.
substitute the income.
It's like, all right,
Hey,
dude,
what's
tap. You're in.
It's your turn now.
That shit's funny. All right, guys. So we're coming up on 40 minutes here on the first half of this podcast. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, though, we're going to talk to Lily a little bit about her nonprofit organization. Let her get into that. Also, you created that Sunday Fun Day Moments, so we'll get into that. I have some podcast shout outs that we'll do also. And then we're also going to do this or that segment at the very end of the podcast.
We gotta let that
It's called the Tot segment, where we just throw random questions or this or that questions at a rapid pace. So we'll do that. We'll get into that in the second half. But yeah, guys, so episode number 84, featuring Lily Lopez. Jesus Christ. Make sure
It
you guys,
wasn't me.
right? Make sure
I've
you
been
guys,
holding mine in.
she's
I
like,
could've hold it that whole time.
she's like, once you hit that record button.
Chris, hurry it up. Dude.
So yeah, guys. So episode 84, conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast. Make sure you're following us on Facebook, liking us on Instagram, subscribing to our YouTube channel, and on Apple Podcasts, guys. Leave us a rating and a review. That helps us get seen by more people that are looking for podcasts. So with all that being said, we're gonna take a quick break, and we will be right back.
Yo, what it do? Conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast is sponsored by top quality and handcrafted products made by I&I Glass. I&I Glass products are blown here locally in the 915 and range in uses from pipes, pendants, jewelry, decorations, and even goddamn motherfucking hummingbirds, and much, much more. So make sure you go and hit up our boy Aaron Lee at I&I Glass and tell them that your boys, Chris and Misa, sent you, all right? And you go and support a local Paso business motherfucking today, all right? Thanks.
All right, guys, we are back from break. Episode number 84, conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast. Like we said, make sure you're following us on Facebook, liking us on Instagram, subscribing to YouTube and Apple Podcasts. Leave a rating and a review. And shout out to all you guys that have done that already. We really do appreciate y'all. You guys are the real MVPs out there. So
Right.
Thank you again, Miss Lily, for being here today. We really do appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to come to the studio and hang out with us for a little bit. So give her another round of applause, Misa.
Yeah, and she gets a triple horn, dude.
She actually triple horn.
She actually did the thing my parents always do,
I actually do the round of applause.
or give them a big hand.
Right.
Or hand hugs, too.
That's fun. So what are your thoughts on today's podcast? I know you've said you've been on podcasts before. How are you feeling the vibe today?
I like it. I mean, it's fun when you can feel relaxed and,
Right.
you know, it's not too serious.
Right.
I thought she was gonna say it's the best one I've ever been on.
It's the best one I've ever been if there was a wine opener.
Oh, no, hey, I deserve that.
Breaking news.
Lily Lopez loves our podcast more than all y'all's.
If we had a fucking wine
If-
open, so we did
Just
fall
kidding.
short on that. Guys, July is a very special month to me. I have a lot of my good friends that have birthdays in July. My grandma's birthday was on the 11th of July, and so I wanted to give her a quick shout out. Shout out to my boy Derek Mitchell. His birthday was on the 10th. My boy Danny, his was on the 18th. Nick, who used to be part of the podcast before he moved to San Antonio, his is on the 17th. And then my podcast, my fucking birthday
Happy birthday,
is at
podcast.
is at the very end of the month also. So shout out to everybody
Yes.
with July
Yeah.
birthdays.
Happy
Shout out to
birthday.
y'all.
Also, a shout out to my boss. His birthday's on the 24th.
Give him a ring.
Sir, I did everything you said.
Salute. Wes, you got any podcast shout outs today?
I don't know people.
You know, well,
He's like, people know me.
People know me.
maybe shout out anything. Your cat, maybe.
Your cat.
My cat's birthday is my birthday.
Okay.
That's when I adopted him.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's wild. Any shout outs, Miss Iris?
I think my brother-in-law's birthday is July 17th.
Okay.
I
So
only know that because my sister and my cousin are talking.
It's like planning the birthday party.
they are. They're talking about birthdays. And I was like, oh, okay.
that's
Shout
funny.
out Zoe.
But
Happy
yeah,
birthday.
shout out to everybody. Shout out Zoe. Shout out to everybody that has a birthday
Chris, you're gonna be
in
30,
July.
bro.
Your
You're
boy's gonna be the
dude.
big 3-0.
I'll buy you a walker. Tennis ball.
Yes, I would really appreciate that because sometimes getting out of bed at night it's a bit rough, man.
Mhm.
It's a bit tough, and then the floor is tile, so the feet are cold.
I'm gonna
it's
buy
rough.
some fucking tools. That's what I'm gonna do.
No, don't do that. I don't want to.
No, yeah, I mean you're not gonna use them, but just in case if I'm here.
But you never know. You might. And then you're going to start using him. And next time he's going to come over, he's going to have his whole thing built in the back.
No.
I never knew these could do
Hell
that.
no. I fucking I'm fucking weird. I hate fucking doing manly shit. Like
He hates labor work.
Like,
So,
yeah, I hate that shit, dude. Like, hey, you leave her out of this, okay? She's my fucking girl, man. That's Celine.
You're getting 3 bottles of wine for your birthday.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I hate fucking for real. I hate yard work. I hate cars.
growing up, was your dad like? Did he force you to?
Yes,
do it?
dude. And it was like the worst part of my fucking life growing up. Like fucking yard work on a Saturday morning. Like what the fuck?
I think Chris was just sad that he was like killing all these weeds that he was like pulling out. Like,
Dude, it was just so ass, dude.
This
And I was
is
like,
literally first world problems. There's people
Dude,
starving.
I know,
and
I know.
For a living.
I know. Trust me, I know this. I'm a fucking stupid privileged asshole, but I get it. But like, dude, I just don't like that shit. Like, it doesn't appeal to me. You know how some people are like, bro, I can fucking rebuild my engine, bro. Gonna throw everything on this fucking car, rebuild it. I'm like, dude, that sounds like a fucking chore.
Be like, you want to do it to mine? Yeah, so you want to do it to my car?
Right. Yeah. Like,
Chris is like, dude, I'll pray for you.
yeah, I'll go fucking start a podcast, guy. I don't like. I'm
It
not
sounds
down.
like you just hate Misa's job.
He does. He hates me.
I would never be able to work.
And then
his
I
fucking
bring in
job,
this
ever.
table that we made, me and my buddy made, and he's like, yo, y'all did this? I was
Yeah,
like, yeah,
dude.
bro,
How'd
bring
you
up,
do that?
put up a
Right.
tool and you'll know.
Nah, hell no, man. But yeah, it was crazy. Like, I'm just like, fuck it, dude. I'm not down at all. So let's get back into this. I mean, what do you want from
I'm
me?
never gonna fucking call up Chris to help me clean my yard and shit. So.
Dude, I mean, I'll go help, but like, I'm not gonna be like,
Okay,
dude, I know how to fucking cut grass. I can do that. I can run a lawnmower. I can run a weed eater. I can bag some. I can rake shit. Like, I can do the trimming
He
of
can
the
do it.
bushes.
He just doesn't want to.
I just,
He
dude.
prefers not
Yes,
to.
like my dad made me do that shit like all the time, and I had like, dude, growing up, like I still have asthma. I'm allergic to grass, so like, dude, I'm out there.
You smoke the
fucking-
grass. What the hell are you
like,
talking
well,
about?
that's fine, but like not cutting it. It's a whole other level.
This is to our viewers right now. If you're watching this on YouTube, let's get this to 100 likes. I will buy Chris for his birthday one of those like build a birdhouse like kits,
Oh,
and we'll do a
record it.
live stream of him trying to
Trying
build
to
the
put it
birdhouse
together.
Wait, but we got to do it
Please don't
outside.
do that.
without tools because you don't have any. So you just have to
Right.
deal with it at that point.
Dude, I just hated that shit so much, dude. It was like the bane of my existence.
It's just
back in
guard
the day.
your life, bro.
You know what I
Fuck
mean?
This.
I was like, dude, fuck
This is America. I do what I want. I don't want to do this.
Right. And like, it sucked. I hate yard work. It's terrible. So anyways,
Noted.
Noted.
Nah, for a reason,
Got a
bro.
litter box back there.
Yeah, well, honestly, hey, that's the landlord's fucking deal. So I'm not getting involved with that. Anyways, Lily, so tell us about a little bit about your nonprofit organization. If I believe it's called Mija, yes, you can. Which if you guys don't know what Mija means in Spanish, that means like your daughter in English. But yeah,
What?
so
That's what my boss calls me.
It's like a term of endearment.
Right. It's a term of endearment, mijo, if you're a boy.
Yeah.
But so tell us about this nonprofit. Kind of give us the idea of like why you decided to found it and when you founded it.
So it was literally right before the pandemic.
Wow.
Literally. Because it was going to be on International Women's Day, which is March 8th. And I have crazy ideas. And I was like, oh, I want to post a motivational post on my work Facebook. So I asked my cousin who does shirts to just make a shirt that says Mija, yes, you can. I was going to take a nice picture and just write, a motivational post. So I did that. And then I got a lot of response like, hey, where can we get that shirt? This and that. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to turn it into a blog, or I was going to turn it into a Facebook page. I made the Facebook page. Then I'm going to turn it into a blog and tell stories of women, how they overcame an obstacle in their life.
Right.
To say, Mija, yes, you can do this and that. And then from there, it just turned into what it is now. You know, for the first 4 months, I was doing this by myself in the middle of the pandemic. So I was working from home. It made it easier because I was working from home and I was able to do that as well. And I had my son there. So
You had
did
all
that.
your bases covered.
Yes, everything was there. And then from there, you know, just so many people wanted to be a part of it. They wanted to buy shirts. And I was like, okay, this is getting bigger than what I can handle on my own. So I had coworkers help me. Now we're a board of 22 women, which is a lot.
Damn, yeah, that's
Wow.
yeah,
But
that's a
it's
big
like
board.
but it's what we need because we have events, we have fundraisers. We just imagine like I was doing it, and then we had 3 girls doing it, and then 4, and then we were like, all right, guys, we all can't do this because we all have day jobs,
Right.
and so we had to get other people, and it's still a full-time job, and that's partially why I took off time too, and why I'm still busy.
Right. To focus
To
on
focus,
that.
yeah, to just because I felt like the girls were needed someone there all the time.
Right.
So I was like, oh, I made this.
Right. I might as well
organization, so might as
fucking
well.
like embrace it like to its fullest extent. So like who came up with the name of the nonprofit? Was that you?
Yeah. So how it started was I at work, because technically I'm kind of, for all the reporters, I'm older than them. Because when we get reporters, they're like 22, 23, they're
Yeah,
in their
they're
early
young.
20s. So I would call them Mija and Mijo. And I was just the mom
Right.
of the
To
group.
show them like,
Yeah.
hey, like I actually kind of
Sometimes it would be sarcastic. I'd be like, hi, Mijo. And then it just stuck. So one day, one of my girlfriends, Kate Beery, shout out Kate Beery.
Shout out, Kate.
Shout out.
She gave me she sent a little meme, whatever. And she sent it to me. She said, this reminded me of you. And it was the phrase, Mija, yes, you can. So I kept it in my saved pictures forever. And then when I wanted to make that t-shirt, you know, I did that. And I mean, it's the women that I worked with that inspired me to
Right.
make the nonprofit because, you know, we're working in a male dominated business and some of them are like, I have issues, but I'm afraid of losing my job. So I'm not going to say anything.
Right.
So, you know,
So is that like the main like message behind that, the name of the nonprofit, like just inspiring like women to just believe in themselves and to do
It's like
like
pretty much
whatever
like,
it
yes,
is,
you can.
like,
yeah, you can do whatever
Right.
you want. But the thing is, it's in English and Spanish because I
Right.
know, you know, there was America Ferrera and all them made Si Se Puede,
Right.
which, you know, is
Oh,
all
yeah.
Spanish.
Sí,
Yeah, but they turned it into Si Se Puede. And for me, I wanted it in English and Spanish because
Right.
it's not just for Latina women, it's for all women
Right.
to come together. You know, like we're inviting you to our culture, which is, you know, a very united culture and we're very welcoming. I think the Latina community is very welcoming in my experience. So we wanted to welcome you, teach us about your culture, we'll teach you about you, and together we'll remind the world that an equal world is possible.
Right.
Wow, dude, that's round of applause.
There you go.
That's amazing.
Where can they find all this information for your foundation?
So we have it on our website, mijayesyoucan.org. And then you just got to just type in Mija Yes You Can, pop up all over the place.
Do you guys have like an app that they can download?
No, we don't. I mean, we have
so
Instagram.
you just, okay. So they have
we
an
have it on
IG page?
Instagram. Wait, we have it on Instagram. We have Facebook, Twitter. What else? I think that's it.
And
LinkedIn.
YouTube.
Oh yeah, and YouTube.
And YouTube. Okay, nice. And so what would you say if you had to say like the overall objective of this foundation? Like what is the I guess like I know like you have like a mission statement, right? But what does that like actually mean like in the real world?
So it is to support women and not just by motivational words, even though sometimes that does help women. We post a motivational post and it's like a sign.
Right.
Like, oh, I needed this. And, you know, it gives them, but also financially to help them out or have a workshop that talks about mental health or that talks about single moms, how we got through life. I just think that when women are able to relate to one another, it's nice knowing I'm not alone. I'm not the only one,
Right.
you know, going through this. They are too. And, you know, you make friends, you make connections. We help with scholarships as much as we can. We're a nonprofit, so we don't
Right.
make millions, but it's just, you know, reminding women.
So like a quick rundown of like the services that you guys provide would be like funding, like scholarship funding, counseling. Is that another thing that you
Oh,
guys?
we do. So we have workshops,
Okay.
and the workshops we have, you know, events where a mom and daughter can bond, or we have mental well-being events where we can talk about mental health, or we can just do workout. Where we have one coming up this Sunday that's going to be for wellness.
Okay.
And then we just have events where people can come and just mingle and hang out and just meet new friends or network.
Right.
And then the scholarships, we not only give them to kids that are going to college, because when you think of scholarships, it's the first thing you think of.
Right.
But growing up, I realized there's a lot of women making businesses or moms who had to stop going to school because they want to have their kid, and now they're trying to go back, but they're like, I don't have the money. So we support women young girls going into college, young girls that want to go to band camp, music camp, but their family can't afford it. And then women who want to start a business or who want to go back to school or who are in school and just having trouble paying it.
Yeah, that sounds good.
That's awesome, dude. Like that's just a lot of respect to you, like to even think of other people, other women going through their stuff. If I was to make something like that, I'd probably be like, bro, you're not that guy. You know, and it's like for people are trying to be rappers, I'd be like, bro, you're not that guy.
It's not you.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's wild, dude. And I think,
bro,
like,
pick up a tool.
pick up the tool.
Come on over, we'll show you how to work.
I think
them
this
out.
is all just like meant for me to figure shit out. But it's actually like
it's inspiring, to be honest. Very
and to be
inspiring.
honest, like that's probably the most generous thing that any of our guests that we've had on has done for like the community. I know like DJ Bonds, he does little events where he gives back. He'll do some things where he goes and like
cooks for the homeless.
Oh,
yeah,
that's cool.
tries to feed some homeless people. But what you're doing is like the kind of similar to that, but it's on another level because you're trying to elevate people, especially like you said, females, Latina females, or females in general, to another platform where they can reach their goals without having to feel like intimidated, or like you said, with like girls that like grow up as like single moms, like giving them a support system, which they might not have like otherwise, you know what I mean? That's a huge fucking deal in itself right there.
And we've learned that. And I mean, I think for me, I had this platform. I was like, I'm on TV, I'm on radio. People know my name. They know my face. I'm going to take advantage of it as long as I can, you know? And I really did really take advantage of it towards the end when I knew I was going to I made my decision that I wasn't going to re-sign. I'm still on, but not as much.
Right.
But I took advantage of it for.
So do you have like one story or like one example without going into like a lot of detail or like naming someone like specifically, but like somebody that you can say, or like there's the story of somebody that you've seen like be greatly affected by the work that you guys are doing?
Oh, at the beginning, we would have a lot of women reach out and we would share their stories and they would let us, you know, people that just got diagnosed with cancer, or I actually just finished, we were giving out our first scholarship. And I was tasked with looking at the applications for the young girls going to college. And some of the stories, I was just like, can we just give them all money?
Right. Yeah.
They're amazing. Their families, you know, it's stories of like a single mom who works 3 jobs and she tries to help us, or mom and dad who are still struggling. And it's just so stuff like that. You know, I'm not rich, but I'm rich in love and in, you know, I feel good.
Spirit.
I'm leaving a legacy behind. And in all reality, I want to leave that behind. So, you know, when God calls me up to wherever,
whenever it's time for you to clock out from life.
Yes. My son can be like, my mom, you know, sometimes, sometimes she wasn't around that much, but she did good.
Right.
And that's all. That's what my parents taught me.
She wasn't around for a very good reason.
Right.
That's for sure.
Yeah. So it's interesting because like, obviously you said like you admire someone like Estela Casas who does all these things like community outreach and giving back to the community. I think it's really important that people do that. But for you to establish like the nonprofit and say like, I'm really about this, and like, I'm going to use my platform and I'm going to help like all these types of people like deal with all different types of problems, like that in itself is like something that's very valuable to the community, because there's a bunch of nonprofits, like, you know, like anywhere there's a bunch, but they're not always like doing the things that are best for like the actual community. And this one seems like you guys are doing a good job, and it seems like you guys have got it off the ground already. And so like you guys offer amazing services. So like one more time, if you could just like tell people who may want to be interested in this, or if they want to even support it, where they can do that at.
So mijayesyoucan.org. And then you can find all our email addresses. And I mean, we're, you know, looking, you know, for sponsors to sponsor events or just to make a donation. I mean, as far as volunteers and everything, we got an abundance of people that just wanted to help, which is beautiful. You know, I'm like, you're not getting paid. You realize that you're not, I'm not even getting paid.
Right.
But they want to do it because they love the mission behind it.
Right.
So
the true value of like a nonprofit organization.
Knowing that they're helping. Yeah.
There you go, guys. So like I said, if you know somebody or you yourself is in need of like any of these services that they are providing, feel free to reach out. And even like I said, like I reached out to Lily to be on the podcast through her IG. So I'm sure like even if you're somebody in need, you can reach out to her through there, and she can direct you to the, you know, the right channels of getting the assistance that you need. So that's very good. Like, congratulations. Like,
definitely.
that's a very big thing that you're doing. Like I said, it's probably one of the most significant things that we've had, that one of our guests is actually behind and like a part of.
It's literally make me think like, what can I do to help?
Yeah.
You know, like,
I mean, and it's all just about support. And that's why I have people that are like, I don't have money. Because that's how I was.
Right.
I would always volunteer for NAMI, National Alliance on Mental Illness. And I was like, man, I wish I had like millions so I could just give you money. But then I realized, just let me use my platform. Let me do a story on them. Let me do an interview. And your time is sometimes more valuable than the money, you know?
Nice. Yeah, that's true. And you've mentioned mental wellness or like mental health a lot. Was there like an event in your life, or was there something that happened that made you like become keenly aware that like mental health should be taken seriously?
Oh yeah. When I was younger, you know, I had my mood swings and this and that, and my parents weren't sure what was wrong. You know, in a Latina family, you think hormones or
right. Get over it.
She's just growing through it.
Yeah.
But thankfully, my mom was like a little bit more like, no, something's wrong with her. And then as I grew older and I had my son, I didn't really deal with postpartum depression as much. It's actually after I had my son that I feel like I've just been running, because I was like, I can't let him down. You know, I'm a mom now.
Real fast.
Right.
What is that like depression, like after giving birth? Is that what that is?
Postpartum.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you know, where our bodies are changing,
Right.
we have this human that relies on us, and there's just so many things changing in our world that we're just like, you're always tired, you're drained, you're not the same person.
Right.
You know? And so but I didn't, you know, and I was dealing with other issues in between. So I didn't deal with that. And then it really sparked when I was in TV news, because that's when I had people judging me. I was stressed out, and
it was just so much.
it was just too much, you know, and sometimes, unfortunately, it took that like explosion for me to realize. Thankfully, it wasn't like an explosion that was like too serious,
Yeah.
you know?
That like really
really
turned into something bad. Right.
impacted anybody. And so I went to a psychiatrist, and, you know, at first I was diagnosed with bipolar 2 disorder. And so he gave me medication, but the medication was actually not doing what it was supposed. It was like kind of
working like in
backwards.
reverse.
Yeah. So then I stopped that one, and then I went back to a psychiatrist years later. And they diagnosed me with anxiety and depression.
Right.
And I was like, okay, I could see that. So now I'm on anxiety medication.
Okay.
Because I'm just like, you know,
Right.
and one thing too, which you can't really put medicine on, is I'm a workaholic. I really am. And that's kind of what impacted me too with my son. I created the nonprofit, and I was just working. Like, I had zero time with them. So that was kind of an explosion too. I had an argument with my parents because they were like, you need to be there for him.
Right.
My son was crying. It was just this huge explosion. And I realized I have to get rid of something.
Right.
My nonprofit's doing great, and it's doing what I want my legacy to be. I can't get rid of my son.
Right.
It's illegal.
Yeah, you can't really do that. Misa's tried to get rid of his kids multiple times.
I lost the receipt.
The 30-day return policy is long expired.
So I was like, my contract's up with KVIA. I'm going to stop that. And there's times where he gets sad, because at school, sometimes I'll be like, I saw your mom on the TV, you know, and he's like, Mom, my friend saw you on the TV.
Mom, you're a celebrity.
And when we went to actually the Chihuahuas game, and he was in like 3 pictures, people would stop me to take pictures. They're like, can your son join? I was like, of course. And he's like, Mom, are you sure you want to leave this? And I was like, they don't pay the bills, baby.
Right.
Pictures don't pay the bills, unfortunately. You want me to start charging? Yeah, sure. $20 for a picture.
But if you don't eat your veggies, you're out.
I know.
Yeah, it's cool. Like I said, like props again for everything that you're doing with that. And then also like acknowledging like the importance of like mental health. And then I like what you said a little bit earlier, like in the Hispanic culture, because it's not even just like if you're a girl and like they say, oh, it's your, you know, like mood swings or whatever. Even like with guys, like in the Hispanic culture, there's that sense of like machismo.
Yeah, there's that machismo.
Like just fucking get over it, bro. Fucking take
my dad's like,
tequila
shut up and rub
shots, like,
some dirt on it.
Yeah.
Right.
Put some Vicks.
Right. Yeah. So it's like, I think one thing that our generation has that our previous generation does is like, we have the knowledge and like, we recognize like, look, dude, sometimes people are just fucked up in the head and like, they just need some fucking help, and it doesn't like make them any less of a person or less manly or less feminine, whatever it is. it's like the importance of understanding like there's other things that are at play that you may not see that are behind the scenes, and it has to be acknowledged.
And it might just be situational too, it
right.
doesn't, but people don't like to get that late, and there's that stigma behind it,
right.
And it's
like
no.
asking for help.
Yeah.
Like,
And that's what I was going to say. I think most of it also has to do with people like asking for help. People just say
You
like,
don't know where to
it's going to
start.
pass, or like, where do I go? Or like,
am I
is
going
there
to have to
something
be on
really
medicine
wrong?
all the time?
Like,
And that's the thing. There isn't medicine. There's other ways, sometimes you just need someone to talk to. That's what I tell my girlfriends.
Right.
Like, you talk to us all you want, but at the same time, I'm always going to be on your side. You need to talk to someone that's on the outside that can give you both sides.
I tried talking to Tequila about it. And
Oh yeah.
It took me until
didn't
like
listen.
my mid 20s to even start talking about anxiety and depression, because I have the same thing.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it like my parents are very old fashioned, so it was just, oh, this is just
You'll get
figure it out, bro.
It's a phase, and they're still kind of like that. But I know how to take care of myself and everything. But yeah, it's so weird that it took me so long to even realize that. So
Oh yeah. And I mean, we're seeing it now. I mean, with all these, and I hate putting them together though. We have mass shootings, and the first thing they say is, let's check their mental health. Oh, it was
Right.
because he was depressed. And I'm like, well, not, but like that's putting the stigma behind it.
right. Yes.
It's like, I don't want to be schizophrenic or whatever because that person was, and am I going to be like them? It's like, no, you just go seek the help. And those people, should have probably
Right.
seeked help. But
yeah. Once I think they went just like, it was already like, it was too little too late in some
in some
situations.
sense.
You know what I mean? Like if they're already to the point where they're like considering like going and shooting up
Other
a place,
people?
like now, like they've gone so far off the deep end that it's going to be even more difficult to like reel them back
bring them
in.
back in.
So if you can notice these things at the beginning, you have a better chance of like helping like resolve the issues then than letting them grow into like a bigger problem, which then leads them to do something like
And at the same time, I
life-changing.
think it takes like also the people around the person that's having these
The support,
issues. The
yeah.
support,
Oh, yeah,
you know,
you
it's
have
like
to-
support them and not just tell them it's the fucking devil.
it's
fucking
environmental.
with you. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, it's situational too. I mean, the pandemic, one good thing, I always look at the silver lining of stuff. In the pandemic, it made people realize that it's okay not to be okay. We were left alone with our thoughts. We couldn't go anywhere. We had to be home.
Right.
And you're just like,
I was never alone.
also, well,
Them
even when
kids.
you're not alone, you go crazy. And we
Right.
just realized, this is tough.
Yeah.
I don't have a job. This and that. So we slowly are starting to talk more about mental health, but
Right.
it's like it took a global pandemic for people to realize.
Maybe
Right.
that's what
Mental-
God said. He's like, you know what?
You guys need to talk about
Shut it
mental
down.
health. Shut it down.
Time out. Think about what you're doing.
I'll be back in a year.
Right. I'm sure that's exactly what fucking God was thinking, but let's transition to some lighter subjects here on the podcast. I just wanted to ask you before we get into the this or that segment that we're going to do here in a bit. What are your like future plans going forward? Where do you see yourself more or less in like 5 to 10 years? Like what are some things that you want to accomplish?
I mean, 5 to 10 years, I would love to be like doing Mija, Yes You Can as my full-time job.
Right.
Paul Foster, Hump Family. if
Hit
you
me
guys
up.
just want to make a donation.
Hey, they're listening for sure.
You never know.
You never
Celine
know.
Dion as
honestly.
well.
Celine
Yeah.
Dion, Taylor Swift, Post
Yep.
Malone.
Yep. Those are some heavy hitters there right there. Those are some heavy
Look
hitters.
at that Bud Light post.
Posty. I would love to do that as a full-time job because I'm
Right.
already doing that. And I already know the ins and outs of it. So it would just be ideal. But if not, I would like to do, lifestyle.
Right.
It probably wouldn't be here. I would love to stay here in El Paso, but
That was my next question. That was the next question I had for you.
I mean, but it's just, El Paso, there's not really job openings for what I want to do.
Right.
People are like, there's so many and they'll throw job openings at me. And I'm
it's
like,
a fucking Village Inn and shit.
yeah, but I'm like, I'm already at that point in my career where I want something
Right.
that will be more stable, where I can stay there longer or even retire from,
Right.
So I'm like, I don't want to be jumping from job to job. So I've been looking here and out of town where I have family. I'd love to stay here. I would,
Right.
but the jobs.
So
just-
potentially, there is a chance that you would move out of El Paso to pursue
if the
whatever
job
it is
was
that
a
you want.
good enough job, paying enough, in an area, I have family in San Antonio and in Austin.
Okay,
So those are the top
the main
places.
two,
Yeah.
right? But I mean, it's good to keep like an open mind as to like where your career could take
Mm-hmm.
you, because you don't want to tie yourself down like just to El Paso because like you're afraid to move or like you're unsure of how it's going to work out. Like I think it's important that if you realize like I can take like a risk and move, it could be more beneficial in the long run, and it can help like
just try it out. I mean, El Paso's not gonna be like, you're not allowed back in.
El Paso's not gonna fucking put up a fucking.
You know how many times
El Paso's like, you're not gonna leave.
El Paso draws you back. You know how many times I've left and I come back.
Right.
So
and so a lot of people say they go, dip their foot in the water and then they come back and they appreciate El Paso even more. So
yeah, of course.
I lived in San Antonio for like almost a year, and then my apartment caught fire, so I had to move back. And I was like, "Fucking El Paso."
You did it. You brought me back.
That's crazy. Yeah, so that's cool. I mean, it's really interesting to see like how you are trying to figure out how you can push yourself to another level, but at the same time maintaining this nonprofit that you already started, and keeping the doors open for like whatever like the world may throw at you. You know what I mean? Because we all don't really know
we don't.
what's going to happen in
We
like
learned that during the pandemic.
5 years, or let alone fucking 6 months. Like life is fucking crazy. It moves fast. So guys, what we're going to do is we're going to start to wrap up this podcast.
Is that what time it is?
But before that, I need to know what time it is. Guys, you know what time it is? Anybody
Lily, do you know what time it is right now?
yeah, I got to watch it.
It is time for the This or That segment here at Conversing with Chris and Misa podcast, hosted by your boy, Chris Marcus.
Thank you, Misa. Thank you. That's right, guys. It is time for your weekly dose of random ass category / questions. But this time we're going to do this or that. So this is a segment where I myself, the host of this podcast, will fire off some simple this or that questions. And this is just in order for us to get to know you a little bit more as a person. But this week, guys,
Special edition.
Yes, sir.
And shout out to our boy Chris Molina for helping produce this. We are going to do a 90s themed this or that. And the way we want to position it is we want you to think as if you were a kid. So what would, 10-year-old you choose in this situation? We don't want you to think as an adult now, because obviously you probably think a lot differently and more logically, and some things
Debatable, but okay.
Right? So I know Wesley's ready. I know Blue's ready. I know Misa's ready, but I need to know, Lily, are you ready for this?
I am ready.
You're nervous for this?
I'm excited.
Okay. I was like,
If
this
you're
is
not
like
nervous,
the easiest
you're not
part.
living.
Hey.
Whoa,
Wow.
bro. Somebody write that down, Blue.
If you're not nervous about life, are we even living?
Right.
have to
Okay.
talk
Write
about
that down, please. Somebody write that down.
I'm gonna trademark that.
Right. Yeah.
Do it.
Somebody should put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Like for
Everything's
real.
on a t-shirt now.
I know, but that was beautiful, man.
She was
Jesus
beautiful.
Christ. Okay. So let's get some music going here, Misa. Remember, we're thinking as a kid in the 90s back in the day, as we all were once back in the day. So first, this or that, hide or seek or hacky sack?
Hide or seek.
Coca-Cola soda or Coca-Cola icy?
Soda.
Easy bake oven or Polly Pocket? Woo! We got a reaction.
Wait,
on
what's
that
a
one.
Holly Pocket?
I have one of these.
Polly
Polly Pocket.
Pocket.
It's like kind of like Legos, but for girls. We would have like little houses, and it's like little itty bitty.
But it was in like a little makeup thing.
And you would just put them in little sockets, and it's like playing Barbie dolls, but like in
Right.
a little tiny one. You know, and
Damn,
I have
I
to say
remember
Polly
that.
Pocket, because we would always have our Polly Pockets in elementary school, and we would
Right.
always go in our little area. And
You
play.
kept that thing on you, right?
Yep.
I had a Polly Pocket, but it was a Han Solo Polly Pocket.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the Easy Bake Oven, I would always burn the
Oh,
stuff.
okay, so that's where I was going next. It's funny that you say that. I was going to say Easy Bake Oven or Connect 4.
Connect 4.
Oh,
Dude,
I
Connect
still
4
play
went
that.
down, bro.
yo,
I
Connect
have
4 is fucking.
It
it's
survived,
It's pretty
bro.
fucking challenging.
I
yo.
stopped talking to my brother for like 3 months.
Connect
One
4?
time. Yeah.
He dropped that red.
No, well, it's because I remember like it was my
Oh,
turn, but
that's
then he made it seem
hilarious.
like it was his turn, and then so because I knew I was
we're
gonna
bringing
win,
back-
and then like
Childhood memories.
yeah,
Did you ever get mad because you were losing? You just hit that little button on
And
the
it all
bottom and
goes-
then just dropped them all. Just walked off.
And just kick the
I
fucking
probably won't
thing.
talk to him for another 2 or 3 months now that I'm thinking about it.
That's
Memories, PTSD.
All right, let me get a little bit more music. I got a few more for Iris here before we let her go. Rugrats or Hey Arnold? Ooh, come on.
Were you a
come
big
on.
fan
This
of
should
both?
be easy, bro.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna have to say,
It's gonna break my heart. Right
I know,
here.
but here's the reason why. Only because when I was younger, I had the the unibrow. And I got my mom one time called me. No, but I'm not going to choose what you guys want because of
No,
this.
I know.
My mom called me. Helga was
Helda, yeah.
She called me her one time because my eyebrows. And so I cried and I got sad.
That's
so
racist.
Rugrats.
That's like abuse. Like
Yeah, so Rugrats is probably gonna have to be
Hispanic
it.
mom right there.
Hell
for
yeah.
sure.
No, honestly, I was hoping you went with Rugrats.
Yeah.
That was my shit.
No, Rugrats. Because the theme song.
What?
Do, 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 do,
They brought it
The
back.
only
by
thing,
the
like,
way.
one thing
Yeah,
I
I
loved
saw
about
that.
Hey Arnold was his room.
Right. We talked about this.
But also her shrine, because everyone would joke, you probably have a shrine. You probably have a shrine of
That's right.
whatever. And I'm like, no, what, the gum?
Right. So, okay. Did you have a shrine of some guy like back in
No,
the
but you know what? I remember one time I had a little box and
Right.
years when I was cleaning my stuff, I had pictures of like the guy. I was
Right.
like, where did I get all these pictures from?
Where did she? Yeah, did she take them?
I think my friends would give them to me. They would get pictures like, here's a picture. Okay.
It would have been great for like a
That's
spy or
funny.
like other like government jobs.
FBI.
Just taking
CIA.
pictures of somebody. Okay. All right. Let me get some more music. A few more we're going to rattle off here. Waffle cone or regular ice cream cone?
Ooh,
That's a good one still.
You know what?
Waffle.
Waffle cone.
Yes,
Because it's like breakfast with ice cream.
Right. And it's like a graham cracker, bro.
dude, I
Like,
could eat
what
the
do you-
waffle cone by itself.
Right, by itself.
This is
okay.
true.
Okay, a few more. Monkey bars or slides?
Ooh.
Slides because monkey bars would always give me
Yeah,
the
you
little
get the blisters.
The
Yeah, I
blisters.
feel you. Kickball or tag?
kickball.
Laser tag or bowling alley?
I think bowling alley, but I always have to have like the little side thing.
You bowl with the bumpers on?
And then the little slide too. And they're like, I take my son with me for your son. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Dude, that's funny. She's like, I'm putting the least amount of force.
It's like it's like playing in a game and then getting the participation like
Dude, the bumpers
trophies.
were
Like,
top tier. You could spin around, throw it, watch it bounce
Yes, that
back,
was
and then
fun.
it would get a strike. You're like, that was a trick shot,
That's
dude.
hilarious.
But I got it.
All right, I got a few more before we wrap this up. Chinese checkers or Monopoly?
Chinese checkers.
The heck is Chinese?
Yeah.
You've
don't
never
know
played
that.
Chinese checkers? Okay, regular checkers. or
Chris, have you ever
Monopoly.
been to China, bro?
No, but I've been like, no.
Okay,
I
no.
haven't.
That, you see,
I mean, I've been like, immersed in Chinese fucking checkers where I felt like I was in China, if that makes
whatever,
sense.
dude.
And I was
every
eating
day that I
Chinese
see him, it
food.
looked like he's been reading Chinese literature.
Okay, so checkers or Monopoly then?
Monopoly's too long.
Can I change
don't think
that?
I've
Well,
ever
actually,
finished.
even though Monopoly, we would play with my dad and we had like
Right.
quarters and coins. So it brings back childhood memories.
Right.
But
What about Monopoly or Mousetrap?
Mousetrap was a little weird, bro.
What about the Hungry Hippo?
Hungry hippo?
you know what? I recently
Hippo.
bought that one.
Hungry hippo.
Not sure what that one is, but
Hippo.
Or Trouble? Trouble?
Okay.
Maybe
Trouble
Trouble.
or life too. I hit life.
was
Like
good.
Sorry.
life prepared me for life. I was like, that's my advice to young kids.
Bro, the maker of life was like, thank you for that. This is all I was fucking
I mean,
shooting
it
for.
does. I'm like,
Okay.
what the?
All right, last one. Would you rather play or no? Would you rather rollerblade or skateboard? I was a rollerblader, not gonna
Rollerblade,
lie.
right? I never knew how to skateboard.
Yeah,
Roller
rollerblading
King.
was, dude. Roller King was
Oh,
lit,
yeah,
bro.
Roller
Roller
King.
King was a good dude. I used to
I would
like.
always follow, but
And then if you like were able to take like a girl you liked and you held her hand, dude, like, bro,
Dude,
you
game
were
over,
in.
man.
Game over, king. Like that shit was like the best.
No,
You know
but
what
then
I mean?
it sucked when you see like the kid that was like the same age, like doing it backwards.
right.
the little
like-
ones, yeah,
and
you're
then
just
he'll
there
go down
barely
on one
trying to
knee
hold
and then
yourself
put one leg
together.
up, and then I'm like, dude, what?
Yeah, dude.
Next thing you know, like
It makes
the
you
girl that you
question
took
life.
there.
People used
Just
to
holding his
yeah.
hand.
Next thing she was drinking soda with that guy.
Your favorite orange soda.
Okay, guys. So that was our this or that segment right there. Thank you, Chris, for helping produce that. I thought it was cool, not East themed. We tried to throw it back a little bit. So with all that being said, guys, let's start to go around the studio here. We'll give final thoughts on today's episode, and then we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Mr. Wes, can I get your thoughts on today's episode, brother?
What a wonderful podcast. Also, I think it's so awesome what you're doing with your
Thank you.
your no profit. It's amazing, and it definitely should be. I don't know if you guys can't donate or anything, maybe share it around. Because
Spread the word.
It's definitely something that is worthwhile. Misa, always hilarious. Chris, always laughing at the best moments. Blue with the best cold beer.
Filling up my wine glass.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
That's going to be in the shot, and I
Top
can't wait
of
for
the
that.
line.
But thank you so much
Butler
for
Blue.
having me on and to produce and stuff. It's been a blast.
Hell yeah, good
Yes,
shit, Wesley.
yes.
Thank you, Misa. Final thoughts on today's episode, brother.
Yes. huge shout out to you. Really appreciate you. Not a lot of people. It takes a lot for somebody to inspire me, to be honest. But when it comes to something that you're doing, seeing it from my family point of view and seeing my mom and how I'm sure she would have probably gotten a lot of help and stuff like that. It really touches down in my heart. Just because I also have a wife, I have a daughter, and so everybody listening, man, if you guys need the help or if you guys know somebody, reach out. Mija, yes, you can is the one to go. Thank you very much for giving us your time. This came out better than I expected it would. I thought it would be good, but I didn't think it was going to be this good. Chris, good stuff, Chris. Wes, best producer out there. Thank you. Blue, Jesus Christ, and beers, bro. How do you do it? I don't know.
What kind of ice is that?
Please. Everybody listening, guys, thank you very much. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you guys are being safe and make sure you guys are staying fresh.
Miss Lily, final thoughts on today's episode today?
It was fun. You guys are fun, very welcoming, and it's I'm the only girl here, so it could be intimidating,
Right.
But you guys made me feel very welcome. I'm glad
I felt
you guys.
Intimidating after all.
It was the Celine Dion.
It was the Celine Dion.
That
He was
closed
like,
her right there.
Yeah, he was like, "Do you guys remember Titanic?" And I was like, "What?"
Not a handy
that,
guy,
she's
Celine
like-
Dion.
I'm also I'm also a big Shania Twain fan, just so you guys know. You know what I mean? She goes hard as hell too.
She does. She does.
Yeah.
She's
So So final thoughts today, guys. Thank you, Lily, for being here. I've been switching your name from Lily to Iris. It's like I can't pick one. You know what I mean? It's weird.
He's picking the moneymaker and the spender.
We're in different subjects.
Right.
We get serious. It's all Iris.
Right. Yeah. I'm like, I need to know what Iris thinks about this. Lily, we'll talk to her later. But yes, for sure. Thank you for being on today. Like I said, thank you for spending time out of your busy schedule to come all the way to the studio, hang out with us for a while. I know you said it could be intimidating. We try our best to make everybody feel comfortable, guys. We always have welcoming arms and invite anybody onto the podcast. So thank you for being here today. Wesley, thank you for holding it down in the producer chair again. Oh, fucking Blue, man. You're my boy. Not worthy. That fucking ice that you buy from
Is it
wherever.
Sonic Ice? Because you know how Sonic Ice is like the best ice?
That's the secret.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's not.
It's the Burger King ice.
But yeah, shout out to you, dude, definitely for fucking always coming through, helping us out, get shit set up and everything, making sure that our drink levels are optimal.
Yeah,
We don't want
everything
them to
is
be below that.
sanitized.
Right, as well. So thank you for that, Misa. Another good episode in
Yes,
the books
sir.
once again, bro. So with all that being said, guys, episode 84, Conversing with Chris and Misa, the podcast. Follow us on Facebook, like us on Instagram, subscribe to YouTube. There's a lot of you guys that aren't fucking subscribing, and I see it, and I know where you guys are.
Grandma.
And I'm not gonna do anything to you, but y'all need to subscribe.
Guys, make that red button gray.
Yeah.
It's a magic trick. All
It's
you have to
easy.
do is hit that subscribe
Just like
button.
that.
Turns gray.
Hit subscribe.
Try it
You'll
out.
see every time we drop every single Sunday. Apple Podcast, leave a rating and review. Guys, we are
Damn.
Sheesh.